Hi, my name is Dan Brady. Of course, those of you who know me know that. Those of you who don't, introduced. I'm going to reprise a set of poems I read at 1428 Poets. I was a feature there on September 6, 2022. And I'm reprising the set because several people said, oh, they'd like to hear it because they couldn't attend. And I like the set myself as well. My wife Wendy helped me select some of the poems, and I hadn't read some of those in a while. And I really like the set. So I'm going to re-record it and hope you enjoy. I began with this one poem, Away Summer Fields. Away, summer fields, and lead me to the barn, where swallows shelter, then cold well water shall be poured and slake my thirst, and lemons will aid. Dusk, quiet birds call, our harvest table laden, friends coming by. The feast days are near, we guess about the first frosts, and hear the crickets. That was one my wife picked, and this was this one. The tree. There is a tray that shades my yard and dapples where I lay. I rest beneath its great old limbs and dream throughout the day. Summer winds wane, birds flit and caw. I hardly move at all. A book lays near, though it is closed, and hides away my scrawl. It's days like this when time is slow and dreams go idly by that I wonder at the sky above and gently let a sigh. Let no man chance to chide my way as he is life's toils plan. The muse so placed within my heart exceeds the reaper's span. And this one, a mixture of my past, the past of a friend's son, and a few other memories. I'm really glad my wife suggested this one. Summer Night. He was just 7 years old, but talkative, inquisitive too, and he had a way with words, believe me. Tonight he was excited and for once intently quiet. Long after hours, dinner and sunset, he was in the school's playground, waiting with his dad and I to look through a real telescope provided by the local astronomers club. We decided to look at Andromeda. I stood by him, looking forward to my turn as well. While his dad left to go get something from the car, his turn came up, so I got down on my knee to help him look through the eyepiece. Watched his eye, saw on its fluid surface a point of illumination. This was Andromeda. He saw, and I saw his wondering gaze study. I told him, that light is 2 million years old, and tonight it is here, magnified by a simple set of lenses before it lands upon your eye, which, like the lenses, focuses it upon your retina, or is translated into electronic code. Wow, he whispered. Then I continued, nerves take that code back into your brain to be realized for what it is in your mind, and that's what you really see. His wide-eyed sight was transfixed in wonderment upon an ancient artifact and the consideration of its effects. His mouth motioned a hushed, wow. That night we saw something from a place so very far away and vastly ancient, brought right into our own here and now. It's like a machine of sorts, he said. Yes, it is, and that light will make a memory you can carry with you. He smiled. We were touched. We took in something. We both saw the light on that summer's night, and that's something I'll never forget. And then I included some haiku, not a lot, few, handful here. Let's see. Sometimes I read them twice. That's one of my little practices. Either picked it up or made it up somewhere years ago, and other people do it from what I hear. So sometimes haiku presenters will read a haiku twice. There's reasons for that, but I won't go into it now. Sidewalk puddle. Snowflakes and their reflections vanish together. Sidewalk puddle, snowflakes and their reflections vanish together. And this is representative of haiku with a little bit of my sense of humor involved here. Commenting on the condition of our globe indirectly. Building a planet. Just possibly easier than fixing this mess. And there's a follow-up haiku for that. It's actually a haiku plus, as you'll see. Planetary Recipe. Start with iron. Bring to a boil. Add ice as needed. Serves 10 billion. And of course, I can't ignore the thing that had been in the White House until recently. White House dilemma. Staging a first responder with the worst responder. And then there's this one on the same subject. Story in the news. He says, what'll Trump do? I say, make it worse. I think that was it for the haiku that I read. I'll just make sure, double check. Yes, I think so. Anyway, so this is another older poem. Most people who know me haven't heard this, but that's all right. Pilgrim with an exclamation point. There are plains and seas, the caged cannot touch them. In prison, horizons are intimate, where only 2 steps beyond the bar lay a region as remote as the Himalayan wilds for all that. So, when fixed, one comes to understand the private universe, where your will is still possessed of choice in the midway between the zenith and nadir of the dreamlands. It is the fantasy of wall and bar that become real, despite conundrums and the scales of injustice. Your soul, so outstretching, still embodies this truth. There are ever more spacious perspectives, limitless in fact, and so in flight one swoops toward the boundless immensity, plunging dizzily over horizons end over end, delving until beyond the point of collapse, you cannot further. And in that cloaked time, the fulcrum of your being, finding the axis upon which the universe turns, and are wrapped and so held by that eerie light which thereat plays, which cannot be shut in or out, is beyond all things, like your perfect being cannot be touched when it is everywhere. Indeed, Pilgrim, wherever you be, bare your feet, for the place you stand is holy ground. This next piece is similar to that one in some respects. Sojourner. I have finally come to it, the great low delta of this immense river. It has long been a journey for me from that small spring pouring forth its trickle between alpine mosses and granite, to where this vast serpentine track meanders, displaying both patience and grandeur. Miles wide, it carries uncountable particles which are borne to it on the seven winds. From every continent, every living thing, from ancient cities long vanished, from the roiling smoke of battle, or the plumes of foul, exhausted air. The pure winds bring it all here, and I know it has been raining on the Great Plains for millions of years. I can see it in my mind how time has been felt here lightly, blessing the broad back of the land with its caressing mists, how the river has taken everything given to it. No matter how our feeble senses might record this, no matter how muddied they seem to be when compared to that of God's, I only hear, as I try to embrace all this with my mind at first and then with my infinite heart, the bountiful sky, this wondrous river, and the dream sleepy ocean, for all its sounding, only wish me to go hither. They call my child's soul, whispering, wait no longer, to please, as love is every single part of me. Come. And how can I delay when all I can see, all I could possibly bear to love, which is to say, all there is from the great vault of heaven to the curving edge of this world, in concert with the mud under my feet, say, welcome, my dear, welcome home. Again and again, they say, come back to love and stay. And this one is a special poem. It goes back now, it's an old, about 20 years plus. I was sitting at my computer one day and I began writing this under the influence of inspiration. And it began to be a rhyming piece, which is something I had not really done very, very much of at all until that point. And so now it has strong lyrical elements and I really enjoy it. It also has various takes or meanings to it, themes, as you will. There we go. Life's tune. Through a flower's flow of colors and autumn winds undone, and the still white of the winter under a sharp and glinting sun. Through a meal with good friends, all with family heartily bound, and the stories by the campfire and the songs that are passed round. Through the smells of summer grasses, through the redwood dells at dawn, after moonless nights at sunrise, to where the gleaming shores we've gone. Through the words we banter daily, the common office jest, through the phrases that we know by, that language we speak best. Through the hearts on fire and winging, through the thoughts that wing or the swell, through the spirit that comes unto us, we know we're one as well. The community of the heart brings one on tender, on above, to present the present to us in the quietest ways of love. The quietest way. The quietest ways. In the quietest way of love. With each breath we breathe, in each moment that we last, before our eyes in an eye's blink, we make the future and the past. And so it happens that each day, whether by chance or through an old song, opportunity will knock as you go to pass life's tune along. And here's a bonus track. I didn't read this one, but I'm going to add it in because a couple of people said, I like that one. So, all right, here we go. Bonus track. Worlds for Carlos Ramirez, a well-known poet at Sacred Grounds, a good friend, a fellow teacher, and a miracle worker in the fact that he just had this happiness streak that wouldn't quit. Worlds. Oh, my friend, there are worlds and good ones. Beautiful worlds, so wondrous and full of marvels as to make one weep. There are worlds where peace is all there is, and nature is let to run rampant. The verge is rank with skies and seas full of life. Animals who see your soul's light with hearts innocent of fear or rage. There are worlds gowned in clouds of delight, graced with rivers of love, where ranges upon ranges of emotional peace rest under the glowing countenance of their moons dancing in the firmament. Worlds such as songs are made of, as epic poems might suit, where painters upon an overlook can gaze at a life's work set before them, where God is happy. Life tame, and where we'd be glad to be, were we there instead of where we are, dazed and confused by our earthly illusions. I say, forsake fight and flight, let go of want, our past histories of unending sorrows, poor reasoning and martial drums. For there are worlds, this poor scribbler asserts, no artist could hope to convey without a proper preparation. A long, restful life of enjoyment, a million-year picnic. Then they could provide a semblance of one such world. So I tell you, this is a magnificent universe, well made and fit for who but us, or those of our kind. It is like the mystical Ganges with its endless beaches, where each glowing sand grain is a full repository of galaxies strung like beads set in a glowing firmament of stardust. So there are worlds. And then there's us. And our longing, our song, so deep and unending that even this grand universe and all of its works couldn't possibly contain it. So I feel, my friends. So I feel. I hope you enjoyed that and the bonus track. Thank you so much.